Welcome to Sunny Silver Linings, Career Conversations, with your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sani, Kaila. Over to you, Sani.
Thank you, Todd. And I have so special guests today. These guests are so special. They're so near and dear to my heart. And I have Steve Sani and Ankur Kumar joining me today. They are my colleagues. They are my team members. They are my family. And I'm just so excited to have them here today. And this is a new series that we are starting. And this is going to be all about peer-to-peer career conversations, where we will be serving professionals, that peer-to-peer career conversations, that what's happening around us in terms of job market, career, and it's going to be fun. And Ankur, so you are at IT by Design from over a decade and super successful. And, you traveled that journey at IT by Design. So first of all, thank you so much for joining me today, Ankur. And the journey has been so awesome so far. And we call you our awesome Ankur every day, because that smile, man, that we get every single day, it just makes us smile all day long. And you are our amazing Ankur. You're super successful. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey with IT by Design?
Sure. Thank you, Sani, first of all, for inviting. It is definitely an honor to be at this platform for the organization where we are reaching out to masses. So thank you so much. And truly said, it's over a decade that we are in this together. And I still remember I had 10 years of experience when I joined this beautiful community called IT by Design. And we were in our crawling stages in India. We were successful back then in US, but we were starting off in India. And it was a great journey. We started off with a handful of people, possibly a couple of dozens, and we moved the needle to over 100 plus, and then started the Delhi NCR office. And now again, combine these two offices, it's a phenomenal success. And this is something that we all are a part of this success and this journey. So it's been, for me, I don't know how I can disintegrate myself without IT by Design, but let me try. 2 decades of experience, primarily in IT, and I don't remember, possibly in my childhood, I was a techie, but my asset is my people. And I completely believe that any organization, any person, anybody, the biggest asset anybody can have is his people. So that's what I am.
And Steve, thank you so much for joining me today. And you're with us since 2012. It's been more than 8 years. And, you started as a technology professional, and then you moved up to all the way to our country head. And you are leading our both sites. And so, what a wonderful, successful journey that you have had, right? And I'm just super excited to have this conversation and talk about, what is that secret sauce that helped you be very, very successful here and add value to ITBD community, create that value. So more than 8 years. So Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey as a professional as a professional and with IT by Design?
I started as an IT professional back in 2001, and that time technology was not there where it is today, right? It was a kind of internal IT job. I was doing that, and then from there, because it was my passion, I wanted to learn. I learned technology, I learned networking, and I stepped up. I joined IT by Design in year 2012, and again as an engineer, and it was a kind of a experience for me coming out of a single technology person who just know one technology, which was Microsoft Exchange only. That was my key skill. That is my key skill now as well. right? I can
Which
say.
version was that, Steve? When you looking back in like 2001 or two, which exchange version did you start with?
I started with Exchange 5.5. That is the version I started with. So yeah, at that time I learned Exchange. So I worked with Exchange Server, I think more than 12 years only on Exchange Server. So it's a like kind of a journey with Exchange Server, starting from there. And now Exchange worked till Exchange 2012, and then I stopped working on technology, right? So that's when I stopped working on Exchange Server. And I made a mistake here. It's 2013.
You stopped working on Exchange,
2013.
changing technology, and you started working on Exchange, having that exchange with people. So that's a nice transition from tech-centric to people-centric, right? That's where when did that transition happen at ITBD?
It was in year 2015 when I got my first position as a people manager, right? From engineer to a delivery manager. So ASDM was my first. And that time I was kind of feeling that, okay, am I going to do good here? Is it a right thing to do, right? I'm a core technical person, and as an engineer and working as a people manager, that was thought in my mind. And the only thing which helped me here to be successful in this role, that, okay, I question myself, right? Steve, you're a problem solver, right? That's what you do when you work on technology, right? And this is kind of a problem solving, but it's not a technology. Here you need to work with people to solve problem, to work with them, right? So that's kind of my journey. I started as a people manager.
Yeah, and I mean, every technology professional, when they look at their career progression, right? They always have big struggle when they may need to make that jump from an engineer to more of a manager and then leader. And I always hear from other peers that is it, should they grow into just that technology track growth, or they should move from technology to more like a people side? It's always that, very, very difficult decision that they have to make in their career. So can you share with us what kind of emotions and thoughts that you had when you were thinking about, okay, should I grow more into technology, or should I more now move into more people management?
You're right, Sani. It was kind of really a tough decision, right, to make, right? So as a technology person, right, so I was thinking about, should I move up to a technology architect side, a solution architect, or is delivery manager working as a people manager going to be an option for me? But I wanted to test myself. I wanted to do something more. And that is kind of thing which always helped me to move up, right? So thinking about that, okay, when I was engineer, always I was thinking that, okay, no is not an option for me. I'm the one who need to fix this problem. And the same way, when I moved to this people manager role, right, to be a successful person, I always think that, okay, you need to solve this, right? You are working with them. You need to help everyone. And that's how I transformed from engineer to a people manager.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's that problem solving, right? That taking ownership to solve problem, right? That's what creates value. You can be solving technology problems, or you can be solving business problems. If you have that ability to take ownership and solve problems, that's what creates value, right? So no, thank you for sharing that. Now I'm going to go to Ankur for a minute. And Ankur, what is that one thing that you have done which made you a super successful professional that you are today? If you want to share one piece of advice that, okay, if there's one thing our peers can learn from this conversation, what is that one thing?
Thank you, Sani. And great question. In terms, I think everybody at any given point in time is looking for that secret sauce. Personally, it works for different people, but I feel that there are a couple of things that would never go out of fashion: integrity and humility. These two things will never go out of fashion. Work hard, put in all you have got, but never ever leave the hands of humility and integrity. that can make you super successful.
That's so true. Thank you for sharing that, Ankur. And Steve, for the same question, what is that one thing that you want to share with other professionals? What made you successful? What is that one thing?
It's like owning the task, right? So that is something I always, I share with my team as well, right? So whenever I meet someone, be it my kids, be it my team member, anyone when I talk, someone asks me this, right? Or someone asks me that, okay, how we can be successful in life, that's own the task, right? So you need to own. It's no one else going to help you, right? So you need to create that mindset that, okay, if this is in my code, it's my problem, right? I cannot say that, okay, it's not my problem, right? So that's how owning the task. So ownership thing is helped me to solve the problem and be successful in life.
Yeah. And our friend Shiv Khera, I think he shared a story which was similar. I don't know exactly the overall, but the overall context there was, so there were two guys where they were working together at the same level. And so they went home and so one guy was like, hey, we left lights on in the office and there's no one in the office. And it was end of the shift and they were the last one to leave. And it was 2-3 miles of walk to wherever they were living. And so one guy is like, I'm just so tired, man. It's the company electricity. Who cares? Let's go to sleep. Let's rest. And the second person, he did not want to go to sleep, and he did walk back to the office, turn off lights, and then came back and rested. And a few years later, fast forward, the guy who showed that ownership at that time, he was super successful and he was leading a company at a C level. And the other person had limited success, and they were meeting, and he's like, look, it's luck. You are here, I'm here. We started at the same time, and look where you have reached and everything. And their guy reminded him about that incident, that remember when we were working, decade ago in that company, and I asked you if we can go back and turn off that light, and you said it's companies, but I did walk back and I turned off because I was owner then and I'm owner today. I was a leader back then and I'm a leader today. And that is one thing that made me have that career journey that I'm enjoying, that success that I'm enjoying in my career. So that reminds me about the ownership that you just shared, that at the end of the day, if we take ownership to drive things and ownership to produce results and do it the right way and create value for people around us, it could be customer, it could be our colleague, that ownership to create more value than what we charge in payments is the end game, right? So no matter what you do, you are successful. One day you will have that success. So thank you for sharing that. Now we're going to move into a little bit more trending technologies. So let's start with you, Steve. What do you see trending out there? So if I'm an IT professional and I am listening to this podcast, I want to know, where do I need to focus? What technologies I should be learning today to make myself more valuable in 2021?
Yeah, IT industry is a fast changing industry, right? So technology is not staying for too long, right? So this is really an industry which is evolving too fast, right? And if we talk about today's world, right? So that's how I think in IT by design, we are evolving as well, right? So that's how we evolve. That's why I see in our journey, right? So if we talk about today's technology, or if I say that tomorrow what's going to work, let's start with the cloud. The cloud is now, I see as a future, which is going to work in tomorrow's world, which is working today as well, right? So software as a service, right? So now no one buy Exchange server. Companies don't invest, right? So they go to cloud and then, okay, open their mailboxes there, create their mailboxes there, right? So they're saving on an infrastructure or IT headache. And then a cloud provider is solving their problem. Second is cybersecurity. The cybersecurity is the second big thing which is coming in a way, right? So there are so many ransomware attacks, there are so many malicious attacks on a network, right? So now companies need to be in compliance, be it a cloud provider, be it a company, whoever, like even if they are automobile company, they need to be in a compliance for the cybersecurity. So that is the second I add. And third is automation. So now with the technology, everyone, every company, every manager, delivery manager, owner, they are thinking, how can I save on manpower? Hiring manpower is a task, right? So it's not, and then retaining talent and then working with them. So why don't we automate things? Why don't we automate things and save on the time there, and then automation can help? That's the third one.
Sure. So now cloud, cybersecurity, and automation, right? Those are the three things. So if I want to probably, cloud again is it's a very great, important point that cloud is the future, especially now with this pandemic. A lot more businesses are dependent on cloud. There's just so much happened in the last 6 months or so when businesses had to pivot and do more in the cloud, so that cloud services, data, data assets, everything is available to people working from home. So cloud demand has gone up in the last few months. But if you have to name one or two cloud technologies that an IT infrastructure engineer should be focused on, what are those two, one or two cloud technologies from an IT infrastructure engineer perspective that they should be learning?
I'm going to be mean here, Sani, right? So I'm a Microsoft guy, right? So that is the technology I work, that's the technology I know. So I'll start with Azure, right? And it's not kind of like say that I know this technology, that's why I'm just saying that Azure is the one which one should learn and work, right? No, I found it good, right? There's so much flexibility available, right? And top of that, the thing which we work is hosted with the Microsoft. So, and then there is AWS is there, Rackspace is there, right? So these are other cloud provider which we can use and then work with.
Sure. So Microsoft, I don't know if Todd is happy, Steve. He's an Apple guy. He's an Apple lover. And a lot of people out there are Apple lovers. So there's that whole Microsoft community, and then there's the Apple community. So I can understand when you say, okay, I'm biased about Microsoft. And okay, so in terms of cybersecurity, again, it's a broad topic. Like there's so much you can do as an IT infrastructure engineer in terms of your learning. So what if I'm an IT infrastructure engineer, what I should be learning first in the cybersecurity domain?
It's a security thing, Sani. It's a kind of the security. You need to learn security, how you can protect the company network, right? If you are a network engineer, your core job is to protect the network, right? Mm-hmm. What's coming in, what's going out. You should be aware of that, right? Now there are so many tools available, right? So back in then, that was a job that, okay, you need to work yourself to do a penetration test, and then you need to see what's coming in, which ports are open, which ports are blocked, which I need, which I not need, right? So now there are too many tools available, right? If I talk about our own product, which is SNOC, right? SOC security offering, which we are doing, right? So that is, now we are using a provider who help us, right? To filter those events and then to give us a meaningful data, right? So that's how this network security works.
Sure. No, that's a great point. It's one of those things from ransomware attacks to a lot of stuff is happening. And as an IT infrastructure engineer, your job is to make sure that the business information capital is as secure as possible. And it's not, there's no magic bullet there. You have to make sure that the user education is there. You have to make sure the firewall is there. You need to make sure that the end user security is deployed, like antivirus to like malware type of stuff. Tools are deployed there to the, what do you call it? like other things like the DNS filter for dark web type of stuff that is out there. How can you be aware as a business or as an IT professional to save that business from dark web type of information out there? So there's just so much going into cybersecurity, right? And then automation is the future with AI and everything else being there in the trending technologies list. You want to make sure that you are developing yourself as an IT professional in the area of automation.